Hi guys, and welcome to another book review. So today I am going to be reviewing this book, The Looting Machine by Tom Burgis. So for me, I really love this book. If you want to learn more about Africa, this is like the top 5 books that I would suggest that you read, along with How Did Europe Underdevelop Africa, and I think the other one is called The Scramble of Africa. I'm not sure, but yes, this book is one of the top 5 books I would suggest you read if you want to learn more about Africa, its resources, its wealth, its minerals, and where it's going to. It is called The Looting Machine by Tom Burgis. What if I told you that Africa's biggest problem isn't poverty but wealth? That the continent's richest nations, packed with oil, diamonds, and gold, are actually the poorest in terms of living conditions? Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what Tom Burgis uncovers in The Looting Machine, a jaw-dropping expose on how Africa's natural wealth is systematically stolen by corrupt elites, powerful corporations, and foreign interests. In today's review, I'm diving in deep into the book's key insights, the shocking true stories Burgis reveals, and why this book is a must-read for anyone who wants to understand Africa's economy, corruption, and global politics. So let's get into it. Tom Burgis is an investigative journalist who has spent years exposing corruption across Africa. In this book, he explores how Africa's wealth isn't a blessing, but a curse. He argues that the continent is trapped in what he calls a looting machine, a corrupt system that allows African elites, foreign corporations, and international financial networks to extract Africa's resources while its people remain impoverished. The book takes us through case studies from Angola, Nigeria, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, and other resource-rich countries, showing how corruption, war, and poverty go hand in hand with resource extraction. But this isn't just about Africa. It's about how global financial systems, from Swiss banks to Chinese investments, are all connected to this looting. Let's start with Angola. The country is one of Africa's biggest oil producers, but over 70% of its population lives in extreme poverty. Meanwhile, billions of dollars from its state oil company Sonangol have gone missing. Where does it go? Into offshore bank accounts, luxury properties, and the hands of political elites. Burgis exposes how Isabel dos Santos, the daughter of Angola's former president, became Africa's richest woman while ordinary Angolans suffered. Her fortune was built on state resources, proving that corruption isn't just about stealing money, it's about stealing future. Nigeria, Africa's largest oil producer, a country that exports billions of dollars in crude oil, yet imports refined fuel because of corruption. In 2013, Nigeria's central bank governor revealed that $20 billion in oil revenue have mysteriously disappeared. Yes, $20 billion. And guess what? Nobody was held accountable. Meanwhile, Nigerians suffer from fuel shortages, unreliable electricity, and extreme poverty. Burgis calls this the resource curse, where having natural wealth actually makes a country poorer due to corruption and mismanagement. Diamonds of the DRC. Now let's talk about the Democratic Republic of Congo, the world's richest country in minerals, yet one of its poorest nations. The DRC is home to diamonds, gold, and coltan, the mineral used in your smartphone. But instead of benefiting the people, these resources fund warlords, child labor, and violent conflicts. Burgis exposes how multinational corporations and foreign governments buy these blood minerals while turning a blind eye to human suffering. Western companies profit while Congolese people pay the price. On to Guinea now, the corruption of the mining industry. Guinea is home to the world's largest reservoirs of bauxite, the key ingredient in aluminium. But instead of using this wealth to develop the country, Guinea's leaders have sold mining rights to the highest bidder, often in corrupt deals involving Western and Chinese companies. Burgess reveals how one businessman, Benny Steinmetz, secured a multi-billion-dollar mining deal through bribery, cutting Guinea's people out of their own resources. The result? Environmental destruction, land grabs, and extreme poverty, while foreign companies profit. It's the same pattern over and over again. Africa's wealth benefits everyone except Africans themselves. Before reading this book, I thought that Africa as a continent's biggest problem was bad governance. But this book, The Looting Machine, showed me that corruption isn't just an African problem, it's more of a global problem. So think about it, guys. Where does stolen money from Angola, Nigeria, or Equatorial Guinea go? It ends up in Swiss bank accounts, London real estate, and offshore tax havens. The looting machine isn't just in Africa. It stretches to the world's financial centers from like Wall Street to Beijing. So now this book opened my eyes to the role that international businesses, banks, and even our own consumer habits play in African exploitation. Every time we buy a diamond ring, a smartphone, or fill up our petrol, we connected to this system. What's scary is that nothing has really changed for years. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. For example, in our own country, South Africa, state-owned companies like Eskom and Transnet have been looted, leading to load shedding and economic struggles. Our neighbor, Zambia, massive debt from Chinese loans have left the country struggling to repay billions, forcing them to sell state assets. In the DRC, child labor is still rampant in coltan mines, and warlords continue to profit from illegal mineral sales. Equatorial Guinea, Theodorin Obiang was convicted of money laundering in France, yet remains in power, still enjoying his wealth. This isn't history, guys. It's literally our present reality. So should you read The Looting Machine? 1,000% yes. Like I said earlier, if you want to learn about Africa and you want to understand why Africa remains poor despite being so rich in resources, this book is definitely a must read. It's eye-opening, deeply researched, and forces you to rethink everything you thought you knew about corruption and global politics. The author here, Tom Burgis, does an amazing job at breaking down complex issues in a way that's both easy to understand and deeply disturbing. I know. Now, guys, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Africa's resource wealth? Do you believe there's hope for change? Have you read the Looting book? And if you did, please drop your thoughts in the comment section down below.